All right, show of hands here. How many of you have read Harry Potter? All right, most of you. Here's a better question. How many of you know somebody who has read Harry Potter? There you go, that's a lot better. That's a huge story everybody knows. But what if I told you there are children right here in Dallas who don't have the skills to read or even understand this great story that many people have read before? Think about that. People, all these children, locked out of an entire world. Well, we're about to tell you about a project that we hope to be a start of a remedy to this problem. So to help illustrate our vision, we're about to show a video here that depicts, or it's from the first Harry Potter movie, that depicts Ron, Harry, and Hermione in a conversation.
I had you looking in the wrong section. How could I be so stupid? I checked this out weeks ago for a bit of light reading. This is light. Of course, here it is. Nicholas Flamel is the only known maker of the Philosopher's Stone. What? I don't want to read.
All right, as you can see, Hermione here has both enthusiastically read and studied her books from wizarding school. Now, with our project, we hope to make all the children involved be a Hermione. So, who are we exactly? Well, we're BarnesNoble, and I'm Christopher Lindquist, the CFO, or Chief Financial Officer of this project.
I'm Trenton.
I am Sonia Knazerovich. I am the Director of Marketing.
I'm Drew Khanna. I'm the Director of Program Development.
And I'm Eva Livering. I'm the Director of Public Relations.
And in these 15 minutes, we hope to bring to you on our agenda how exactly, or what's the extent of this problem in DFW, how our program, or how our project hopes to remedy this, how we benefit, and how Dallas as a whole benefits. Finally, the investment we need from you in order to make this project possible. To start us off, Trenton will be talking about literacy in DFW.
Thank you, Chris. So in 2003, the National Center for Education Statistics sponsored the National Assessment for Adult Literacy, which measured a few different types of literacies. One of the types of literacies was prose literacy, which deals with your ability to be able to read and comprehend continuous text, things like editorials, information, instructional materials, and brochures. The graph behind me shows estimates for individuals 16 years of age or older who lack basic prose literacy skills in counties in the DFW area. For Collin County, it was 21%. Oh, sorry, Dallas County was 21%. Ellis County, it was 13%. Parker County was 9%. Denton County was 8%. Collin County was 8%. And Rockwall County was 8%. So, you may ask, why is literacy important? It is a really important time in the lives of every single individual person when they learn to read. Specifically, it's important for people to develop those skills at a very early age because that lays the foundation for your future academic career as well as your future high school graduation rates. Specifically, we've decided to target 4th grade students in the Dallas-Fort Worth area because that's an important time in which students, they're not just simply learning to read, they're applying reading skills that they've developed towards learning other subjects. So we want to target 4th grade students at Frederick Douglass Elementary School and Dallas ISD because this decision was based on academic accountability standards provided by the Texas Education Agency. Specifically, these were based on an A through F grading system, specifically based on things like STAR test averages, academic performance over time, as well as closing the gaps between certain subsets of the student population, things like minority performance in relation to other students in the student population. Next, I'm going to allow Sonia, our Director of Marketing to discuss our project proposal.
Thank you, Trenton. So our proposal is we are going to launch an 8-week book club, which will have bi-weekly meetings and bi-weekly workshops. So it would start on January 25th, 2020 and last all the way until March 14, 2020 as Dallas ISD takes their STAR test April 6th. What we would do is we would have it's a Saturday and Sunday. We will have 2 sessions each day, a morning and an afternoon, with a max of 50 students each. So that way everyone who wants to be a part of this can. We will have a weekly meeting where we will discuss what we read and answer any questions that the kids have about the book, something they're not understanding to kind of help them understand the book better. And then the second week we will have workshops which are designed to be, they're designed to help them with the STAR test when they take it later. So they're all STAR test focused. So our first workshop will focus on vocabulary, teaching kids how to look for context clues to define any words that they don't understand. They'll be encouraged to write down any words that they are not understanding while reading. The second workshop will have main events, help the students figure out what the main events are and how those main events will impact the characters in the future and any past events that got them to their present place. The third will be character relationships and growth, as the best part of a book is seeing the main character grow. And in Harry Potter, you have Harry, who grew up not knowing that he was a wizard, going to this wizard school and ending up finding the Philosopher's Stone and everything, and fighting Voldemort at that point. And then in workshop 4, we'll have a plot summarization to help the kids summarize what they have read, and all of this should help them in the STAR. And next I will pass it on to Drew, who will go ahead and talk about benefits in DFW.
All right. Thank you, Sonia. I'm Drew, and I'm going to be talking about a couple of the benefits that we are going to have for the DFW area out of this program. So the first thing I want to draw your guys' attention to is that it's going to foster an interest in reading in students. A lot of these students are coming from families that are immigrant families where English isn't the first spoken language. For these students, they often have a harder time in school as they don't have that English background. So our program is going to help these students by giving them the English education skills and hopefully get them reading more books in English so that they can develop those skills out further. For our second one, it promotes the Dallas Chamber of Commerce's goals of increased education in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. One key reason we hope that the Dallas Chamber of Commerce chooses us for this is because we believe that by educating our children now, we can create a lot of human capital for maybe like the next 18, 20 years down the road. So it doesn't just improve people's lives now, it does improve people's lives in the future as well. Which takes me into the next point. It ensures long-term prosperity for the historically underprivileged. A lot of these times, these immigrant communities, they are moving from situations that aren't exactly the best for them. So giving them a strong educational background once they've come to the U.S. Definitely will help them in the future. And I feel like that's going to take us into our next point, which is going to be our success measures. We have a couple of success measures. The ones that are going to be on the macro level are going to be kind of broader, larger, affecting effects, while the micro are going to be smaller and more focused in on like individuals in the community. So the first thing I want to talk about is the academic accountability rating. Trenton had gone into a little bit of detail about that earlier, but I'd like to expand on that a little bit. So as he had said, the school that we are going for had received an F rating, which is significantly bad. We hope through our program we can increase this rating to a place that is a bit more acceptable. Hopefully an A, but who knows. Another thing that we hope to increase as one of our macro level measurements is our STAR test reading averages. This is a very important metric for us, as all of our curriculum is based around the STAR test. So we hope that students that come out of our program will have higher test averages than students that didn't take our program. We also believe that the estimates of the literacy rates are a very important long-term evaluation for us, as what it does is it gives us a long-term benefit analysis of what our program can do. Moving on to our micro, as I said earlier, fostering interest in reading is going to be very important. We hope that these students that get into this program come back to our stores, buy our books, and we hope that an increase in sales can show that more students are picking up books to read for their own enjoyment. We also hope to get some feedback about the individual students and from the parents about how they seem to be doing in school. We're going to be handing out parent surveys throughout the course and at the very end of the course to see how the students' reading habits may have changed and what potential benefits they are reaping from the program itself. Now I'd like to pass it off to Eva, the Director of Public Relations for us, and she's going to be talking about our sponsor organizations.
Thank you, Drew. The sponsor organization we want to partner up with is Reading Partners. They are based in Dallas and they provide tutoring for elementary school kids. And their staff is gonna come in and help the educators hired by BarnesNoble to come up with a curriculum for the workshops and for the meetings and the weekly meetings. So with their knowledge and their expertise and the experience they already have with teaching children the reading and writing skills, this is going to be a success for the children taking part in the project. Our project is very much in line with the mission statement of BarnesNoble, because we like to give back to the communities our stores are located in. So by providing the resources for these children to increase their literacy skills and improve their reading and writing skills, we are giving back to the community and also to future customers. Another part of our mission is, of course, also to be the best retailer in books. So with the parental approval, we are going to post the events on our social media, and we are going to use this positive PR to raise awareness for the BarnesNoble stores in town in Dallas. And also employees will like to work for a company that takes their mission statement seriously and that helps the local communities. Now Chris is going to talk about the relation this has to the Dallas Chamber.
Thank you, Eva. So, how exactly does this all relate to the Dallas Chamber? Well, Dallas Chamber has, as you may know, Dallas Chamber has 4 major points that they try to facilitate through all of DFW. First of which is expanding the economy of Dallas. The second one is improving the standard of living for all native-born or immigrant residents here in Dallas. Third of all is strengthening the education of all students here in Dallas, of all schools around as well. And finally is also advocating for businesses and their interests as well. So with our program, we believe it matches the best with advancing education here in Dallas, but we also feel that it provides a very broad solution and lines up with all 4 of these main points that Dallas Chamber hopes to achieve. Now, how much will it cost? That's one of the last big questions here that we have. So, broken down into 4 different categories, 4 major categories that is. The most major you may be noticing is the Nook e-readers. We're providing them to students as in place of books. They'll also be given to them if they participate in the program as part of donation, and hopefully continue on with their interest in reading. Now, Each Nook e-reader is about $50 each. Given that we're expecting about 200 students, that will be a total of $10,000 for that. Next up on the list will be the curriculum. So as we mentioned earlier, we're partnering up with a sponsor with another organization to help create our curriculum. And for each child, it costs about $30 to create a single-person curriculum. This is more of an estimate of a teacher cost, or for teachers, and it's mostly teachers making their own curriculum. So it's more based on how much time they spend on it. So that's about $30 per student, and multiply that all across 200 students, that's about $6,000. Now moving on to supplies, each kid needs they need pencils, art supplies, things like that in order to go through the basic workshops and also reading as well. For each kid, we estimate about $10 of supplies, and that will go up to about $2,000 total. Now, finally, miscellaneous costs. Those are things that those go towards buying prizes for the kids, or any unexpected costs, such as if we need to replace something or repair something throughout the workshops. Now, in total, that is expected to reach about $18,100. Now, if we hope to get this amount, or not, we hope from you, we need your help to get this, how much amount we need from this. It'll be $9,050. Remember, if you're still on the fence about helping support us, just remember that every $90 that you approve for this project, there'll be one more kid who can participate in this program. Now, here's the breakdown of all the costs. As you can see, the Nook e-readers are the most expensive thing. Now, to conclude, as proud as we are of our city, literacy here is definitely a problem. But do remember our program. We hope that it can help solve this problem, combat it. It definitely will benefit in the future, and even just a little, it can turn around a child's life and make our city that much better of a better place. And remember, in the end, be a Hermione. All right. All right. If you have any questions, please do ask, and we'll direct it to anybody who can answer. Yes?
Can any grade level attend?
Can any grade level attend? No, this is open to 4th graders only at the moment. That is about the level of which kids start being able to read Harry Potter. It's where they start getting the vocabulary to pick it up in libraries, pick it up in the school libraries. It's where you see children picking that up and answering those. Yes?
Are those Nook e-readers preloaded with the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or is that another licensure cost that you'd have to account for?
So you're asking if the Nook e-readers are preloaded with the Harry Potter, or if they're like a different cost associated with that? I'm not sure myself. Drew, I think, can answer. He has more experience with that.
So our plan for the Nook e-readers is that we're going to have a copy of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone downloaded onto the e-readers. Just because we don't want to have the kids buy their own copy once we've given them the tablet. It kind of defeats the purpose of the entire program. The students will have the tablets for completing the program at the end. So we do hope that they buy books on the tablet in the future. However, as far as everything for this program, it will be included on the tablet.
Thank you. Yes?
Will it be hosted at just one BarnesNoble store or multiple around the area?
Okay, so you're asking, will it be hosted at just one BarnesNoble store here? I think, you can answer that?
Currently, it will be only hosted at one in, I believe it is Central Dallas, and we hope if the program is successful that we will be able to have it go to more Barnes & Noble stores. But as of right now, only one.
Yes? Another question? Why did we choose to use the tablets since we're selling books? That's a very good question. You want to answer that, Drew?
So a lot of these students are going to be working in environments where digital technology is going to be very important. Now more than ever, like, how many of you guys used a computer for this project? Like, everyone in this room did. These students are only going to be pushed further and further into technology, and we feel like exposing them to technology early on is only going to benefit them.
I have a question just to follow up on that one. Are you just going to go ahead and just download the BarnesNoble app, and then that way you can just purchase your own books on your own Nook readers?
So they're actually going to be receiving like Nook tablets, and Nook tablets come with the e-reader bookstore installed, as well as like an internet browsing device or application, and as well as like text tools. Think about Word, but like a little bit like not on brand because it's a different company.
So
but
once they purchase, you'll also be making profit from it too.
yeah, so eventually, like, we do hope that students will buy like other books on the platform, but at this point, we do want to make sure that the students have everything preloaded on the Nook tablet.
All right, thank you.